Floyd forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going to...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now, Russell Wilson appears to be shaken up. And you know they're holding their breath over on that sideline. He's still down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Seahawks send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar, Case Keenum.
Case Keenum won't overwhelm you with his athleticism, won't wow you with his arm, but somehow, when he's on the field and he's in charge, the ball gets moved by his offensive teammates.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right.
All right, now,
Detroit,
here we go.
Detroit.
Blue 90. All right, now, look at 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 58 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. So a very good start, but don't go get those Super Bowl T-shirts left. Still the early going here.
I wonder if they're even printing them at this stage of the game, right? Do you wait a little longer before you say which one you're going to do? Good advice, Brandon. Make sure you know there's a lot of game left, but a good start.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts, not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2, but I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Shift together here from the D-line. On play action, they'll throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Eric Kendricks He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, look at the strength.
No.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And now running right through him.
Missed.
He will not go down. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Watch tight. Tight end right.
They go with Murray again. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Earl Thomas has the speed, quickness, and skills to be a cornerback in the NFL, and I think he would have been a good one. But playing in the middle of this field as a free safety, I think he's the best eraser in the NFL. Takes care of any mistakes that happen in front of him and hardly ever lets anything get over his head.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And a cut to the right and some open field here. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
3 down.
Now that's
On 2nd down, rolls. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Hot.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they...
Latavius Murray, the 40, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, 76 yards, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Forbath out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't?
And a loose football. Rawls loses it. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And taken right on the 30. Diggs with a good footwork. Well, great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. First and 10.
Tight end right. Tight end right. 4 down.
On first down, Murray. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So much talk this week on the other side about slowing him down coming off that great performance, NFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. But long touchdown run there, nobody was stopping it.
Yeah, good luck for that because that was an explosive run. You know, in the NFL, they described that as any run over 10 yards. Some teams say 15. He went over 20-plus on that one. Partner, they're up big. They snapped the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They faked the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
Thomas Rawls getting ready to go here on offense. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it.
Move 15.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. On second down, here's Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Anthony Barr bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Third down. Here's Rawls. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Powers through him, and now running right through him. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. This time a spin. Touchdown, Vikings! Stephon Diggs saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Kai Forbath on for the extra point.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake.
Go, 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 run, run, run!
And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. It's caught outright by Graham. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play,
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a third.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Right there, 54.
They start on the ground with Rawls. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Vikings have to be thrilled with the way they're playing right now. The Seahawks, though, have fought so hard to get to this point, and now are being blown out at the break. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half.
Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. Shifts by him. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Dropped at the 35, so able to display his strength, but not much room to operate. A gain of 3, second down.
Barney, here we go now. Back there in Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll try the air now with Keenum. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Case Keenum, a 5-yard touchdown run. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he cuts it right into space. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sharif Floyd in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson, and Graham's got it, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 30, 20, 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
All right, here we go.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he's got room. Latavius Murray, the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Right. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th. The Seahawks send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time. On the return. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That good for 22 and a first down. Again, it's Murray. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now let's go. Over. Back 99 Philly. Here.
Keenum. And Rudolph has it left side. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Now let's go.
A handoff. It's Murray. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. That was second down run for Murray. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Bradford wiggles free. And it's caught. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, "Why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it." Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article is saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
On first down, Wilson. The connection made. It's Graham.
Here they come.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Wilson on first down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Wilson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. The Seahawks send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
One of the great coaches said football's really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at the 20. Look at the spin. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to...
It's caught at the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they've pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And the connection not there. Incomplete. Just 14 seconds down to the final couple of plays here.
Defense, keep it up, guys.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And a great spot to start this drive from here.
Gun!
He's coming. Double up, double up.
Here we go now. No. Check. Patriot. Gun!
Watch safety.
Gun!
Throwing now, Keenum. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph from 13 yards out. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. With that, the wait is finally over. It is Super Bowl Sunday. For the call, here's our veteran duo of so many Super Bowls, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we have played 266 games in this NFL season. Only one remains, and it's the biggest of them all, as EA Sports is proud to present coverage of the Super Bowl. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We are honored to be here for the biggest spectacle in sports, the Super Bowl. Are you ready, partner?
I am more than ready, and I love the word you used, honored, because it is an honor to be here. It's a privilege to be here. My excitement is just about to burst through the booth.